most importantly, you need to have a slice tray. Now the slice tray looks like this. It's this size, okay? And it's around about, or as little as, girls, just so you don't get yourself in a bother, okay? You really need to pay attention. Okay, it's around about just a little bit smaller than an A4 sheet. Okay, that means that if you're using a tray like that, it's not going to work. This is not a slice tray. If your mum says, there's a slice tray, you say, no, it's not, okay? It must be that little. Can you see the size difference? If you have that one, it's going to be way too big and it won't work, okay? It must be small like this, okay? Now, there is also a difference between this and a cake tin that's like that. That is not a slice tray, that's a loaf tin, okay? So that's what you want around about that size. Okay, and when you come, you're going to line it, okay? And that way, when it's cooked, you can just lift it up from the paper and it's there ready to cut, okay? So, and that's the most important thing because you can't make a slice without a slice tray. It's the same as with the cake tin. Okay, now you do have a choice. You're going to have a choice between a chocolate slice or a coconut and either jam slice or whatever. Now this is where, just like this time next week, by the way, 6 of your recipes are due. Okay, so remember that for, so you have a look here, coming down here. 6 of your recipes, your modified recipes are due.
have to use in that book?
No, sweetheart. Okay, remember I said you can choose whatever you like. Yes, so they are your favourite recipes that you need to modify and adjust, okay? So they are due to hand in. It's not a progress check. 6 finished recipes are due next week. You've had this since the beginning of the year, okay? So it's been, we're on week 7, okay? So you could have done at least 1 a week, okay? So 6 final recipes that you've modified. Okay, so yeah. Yes, print it out, hand it to me in my hot little hands, okay? Now, so for instance, if say for instance you chose this slice as one of your recipes, the most important thing is you've got the foundation for that, and the foundation is it's got a base, it's got a middle and a topping, okay? With this base, it's pretty much butter, sugar and flour, okay? Now, if this was, say, one of my favourite recipes, how could I modify that? Because you need to have a foundation recipe, and then you're going to show me how you've thought, how you can modify it. How could I modify that?
You could throw it with berries as
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about just the base, yeah? Yes, yes. So if I put cocoa in it, now for every spoonful of cocoa, I've got to put also a spoonful of sugar to combat the bitterness. I could make it a chocolate base, okay? So I could put some cocoa in it, definitely. What about the middle? The middle is jam. How could I change the middle? Yep.
Instead of making it jam, make it something else.
Yeah. Can anybody think of something else?
Nutella.
Nutella, absolutely. So you could have your middle section, instead of jam, you could use Nutella. What else could you use? Yep. Caramel, that's what I'm doing today. So you can use a tin of your caramel. Yep. What's another thing, if I was to modify it? What about apple and cinnamon or something like that? You could do a tin of pie apples and you could sprinkle some cinnamon and sugar. Yep.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, if you're a peanut butter fan. Absolutely. Yep.
Instead of having, different flavors.
Yes, absolutely. So we could use raspberry, we could go apricot, we could go strawberry, we could go boysenberry. There's a gazillion different types of recipes. So absolutely. So the middle section, so we've changed the base, we've changed the middle, and then the top is pretty much a standard coconut filling. So can you see how I've got my basic recipe, but I can modify it? And that's what I need to see on each of your recipes, your 6 recipes next week. Okay? Print it out, hand it to me. Okay? They don't need to be in this final folder because that will be at the very end, but those 6 finished recipes, yep.
So we just need a hand in it.
Yep, because, and then at the end we can then throw them into your plastic sleeve folder, which will be your final one. Yep, yep.
Mum will get it back.
I can give you it back, definitely. Yeah, but I need to have a look and see that you've done it and so on. Yeah. Okay, does that make sense? Yep, cool beans. So today I'm going to make these jam slice, but I'm going to put caramel in instead, and I'm going to make the chocolate walnut slice. Now, I'm going to make both of these today, but next week you're going to make just one. Okay? So you choose today. So today, on my bench here, on this side, everything that I do on this side is going to be the coconut caramel slice. Everything that I do on this side here is going to be the chocolate nut slice. Okay? So now you're going to choose which one you want, and you're going to follow whichever procedure. Yeah. To me or to you?
To you.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? So you can see my butter?
Yeah.
Cool beans. Alright, so you're choosing one. Okay? Now today, so I'll start off with my chocolate slice. So the chocolate nut slice, make sure if you're going to, girls, I'm doing 2 slices in one period, so I can't wait for you to pay attention. You're doing 1 slice in 2 periods. Okay? Alright, so if you're going to do the chocolate slice, it must be cooking chocolate. It cannot be your chocolate that you get off the shelf, like your Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate that you get near picnicking and whatever. Okay? So, must be big. You can use choc melts, that's totally fine. Now, I need 30 grams of chocolate, and essentially that is pretty much 2 cubes of chocolate. Okay? So I'm going to put that in with my butter, and I'm going to put 125 grams. I've already got 50 there. So 125, so that's going to be about this much. Okay, yeah, that's all right. Okay, so melt this really well. Okay, that hot butter is going to melt my chocolate as well. So I'm going to put that in for about a minute 20. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to melt that. Also, I'm going to do, now everything can be done for these slices in a Pyrex jug. So that means at the end of the day you're going to be using a spoon, and you're cleaning a spoon, a Pyrex jug and a scraper, and so it's very little washing up, which is the best part about it. Okay, then in the other side I'm going to be putting 155 grams of butter. Okay. And in this one, you have 2 different types of sugar, icing sugar and caster sugar. The icing sugar is going to go into the base. Okay. Now we also use plain flour. Why don't we use self-raising flour for this? Why do we only use plain? Yep.
Because slices are meant to be a bit thick, not all puffy.
Yeah, and also we need 3 layers, and if I used self-raising flour, it would rise too much, and then I wouldn't be able to fit all of my 3 layers in. Okay, so we're going to be using plain flour to do that. So we've got here, and I need half a cup of caster sugar in my other base. So I've got really hot butter here. I'm going to give that a stir, and hopefully that hot butter is going to melt my chocolate, which it is. Can you see that? Okay, so we make sure that we stir that, make sure all of that chocolate is nice and melted. If you would like, in the jam slice, you can actually do the base of the walnut slice with your caramel, or if you wanted to do the chocolate base Nutella and then the top, you could do the chocolate thing, okay, and that would be totally fine as well. Alright, now I'm going to, in this chocolate base, I'm going to put my caster sugar, and that caster sugar will then dissolve in that butter and chocolate. Okay, so give that a stir, make sure all your butter is completely squished, and then into that we're going to put a cup of plain flour. Now this base here, when you stir it, it needs to, by the time time it gets into the pan, needs to resemble cookie dough. Okay, can anybody tell me, is that what cookie dough looks like? Can I make cookies out of that? It's a bit wet, isn't it? Can you see that? It's a little bit too wet. That's not going to make some nice cookies. So I'm going to need to put a little bit more flour in there so that it's a little bit drier and it resembles cookies a little bit better. Okay, so that's going to look a little bit better, isn't it? Okay, so that's what I want. And then what's going to happen with that is I'm just going to put that in my tray. And then when I get to this stage, this is where you can use your hands and you're just going to squish that down nice and flat into your tray. So nice and flat. Now make sure that it's even the whole way along, because if it's fat in some sections, that's going to be raw, and if it's skinny, it's going to be burnt. Okay? So make sure it's nice and even the whole way, and then what happens with that is that's going to go at the top of the oven, okay? In your oven there. Okay, the next one, this one too, I'm just going to soften this butter. Doesn't need to be melted. Just to soften it. And you're going to put some icing sugar in this and also plain flour. So half a cup of icing sugar. Okay, that's not completely melted and that's not a problem. And once again, your sugar goes in with the butter first, and you're going to just stir that around. Okay, and just make it nice and smooth, like that. And then you're going to put a cup and a half of plain flour. So, 1 and a half. And stir that the same thing as the other. This has got to resemble cookie dough. If this is going to resemble cookie dough, and say for instance you're doing the caramel, what could you add in this? And it just came to my mind just then. Chocolate chips, yeah, totally. But not chopped melts or anything like that. Chocolate chips that are going to hold the shape, hold the cookie. So, yeah, you know those little baby ones. That would be really cool. Okay, see how that's nice? That looks just like cookie dough. So that's perfect. And I just tip that in there. Now, so that the dough doesn't stick to my hands, I can just use that flour that's on my board and squish that down. Same deal as the other one. Make sure it's nice and even the whole way, right to the very edges. Beautiful, and that, the best part about these trays and the size of them, you can fit 2 in the top shelf nicely side by side, okay? And they both need to be on the top shelf. Yep.
Which way would you put chocolate?
That cookie dough just there. Yeah, and it would look really cool because you've got the white dough and the chocolate chips. You could also actually throw it in the other one too. Yeah, it could be a double chocolate base. Sweet. All right. Okay, now, so we've got those two going. Now the next layer that we're going to do for the chocolate one is we're going to do this. You don't need to wash this, okay? At the end of the day, the slices are all going to be mixed together anyway. You're going to have a tin of condensed milk. And I've just got some leftover condensed milk here. I don't know why, but I'm just going to toss that in. Okay? So, it's going to be like a 1.5 condensed milk thingy. So, a whole tin of condensed milk in this one. Now, if you want to do this particular slice, but you don't like nuts, just leave the nuts out. Okay? Yeah.
It's so nice that.
Yeah. Is Louise there? Louise, what type of nuts would you like in your slice? Or no slice? Or no nuts?
Brazil nuts.
Okay. Would you like pecans or? Yep. Beautiful. Okay, so when you get to your nuts, so Mrs. Kent is going to have pecans. So just give them a bit of a chop up. They don't need to be really small or really miniaturized. Okay, just give them a rough chop. And I don't want to be washing up a big chopping board and a big knife, so I'm just. What you could do with pecans, you could actually just break them. Okay, they're so gentle. So my daughter makes a nut mix that they sell at the markets, and with her pecans, she just breaks them up. So just break them up into small pieces. You could do this with your walnuts as well. You could use macadamias. You could use Brazil nuts. You could use almond shards. What else? Cashews. Pistachios.
Oh, pistachios.
What's that? What do you need? Okay, so now these are all broken. Just toss them now into your condensed milk, like that. And give that a stir. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put 1.5 cups of coconut into that.
Do you have to use coconut?
Yeah, sweetheart, that's one thing you do need because it's a main ingredient. It'd be like doing a slice without this particular slice without flour. Yeah. So it's going to fill it up. Yeah. So and you.
I did it.
So you give that a stir like that. Now because I've added a little bit more condensed milk, I'm just going to add a little bit more coconut. Because the coconut's going to give it the substance. And with this, because the condensed milk is such a strong flavour, you really don't notice that the coconut's there. It's just really bulking it out, okay, and giving it that feel. Yep. So, and I've not known a student who doesn't like coconut who hasn't liked this. Okay, so you won't notice it. It's very, very good. Coconut's really good for you too, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Nuts, chocolate nut slice, and now, just remember when you get your slice out each time, for you, you're just going to get it out of the oven and put it straight onto here, okay? Don't put your slice onto these boards because it makes them warped and it bends the plastic and all that type of stuff. You've got in your cupboards hot wraps here. Use those. time these slices come out, they're going to come out 2 or 3 times. Okay? So this one here, can you see how the edge is starting to get a little bit darker? Okay, that is what you're looking for. Now, this particular mixture here, you're not going to put it all straight into the middle of your slice. You're going to get it and you're going to just move it to each time. Who knows when they take cookies out of the oven, what do the cookies look like?
Yum.
And are they hard or they're soft? Soft. The same thing with this mixture here. There's base, it's really soft. If you're rough with it, trying to get this condensed milk, which is really sticky, to move, it's going to rip up the base. So what you're going to do is you're going to get little piles of your condensed milk and just position them all around the base so that when you go and spread it out, you're not going to ruin the bottom. Okay, so put a little bit in each section, making sure that you've covered the whole thing. Now then when you get to this sticky section at the end, just get your scraper here and you can scrape all of that out. Just get okay. So use your scraper to clean that sticky mess out, and then you're going to just very gently, using the edge of your spatula or your scraper, and bring all of that condensed milk and nuts and coconut right to the very edge of your tray. So bring that. Once again, you've got to make sure it's nice and even. Okay? You don't want to have some bits that are really thick with mixture and others that are thin. That way it will cook evenly. Like that, and right to the very edge. Can everybody see that? Right, then when you get to that stage, that's going to go back in the oven again. On the top tray. Why would I want it only to be on the top? Yeah?
Because if you put it too close to the bottom, it will burn.
Exactly, because we're putting it in the oven 3 times, aren't we? And if you keep putting it at the base, it's just going to keep burning the base. But we want the top to be done and we don't want the base to burn, okay? So definitely. Alright, that's the second layer of the chocolate slice. The second layer of the coconut jam slice is my caramel here. Now I need to get my caramel nice and soft, so all I'm going to do is just put it into my Pyrex jug. And I'm going to just soften it. If you've got jam, you'd be doing the same sort of thing. You want to make sure it's smooth enough and soft enough so that it will spread evenly. Alright, then when you've got it like that and it's one big blob, just give it a stir to get it smooth. With your Nutella, that should be nice and smooth anyway, so you don't need to worry about that. And I'm going to, with this one, just to make it like a salted caramel, I'm going to just put a pinch of salt in it. Salted caramel tastes a lot better than normal caramel, in my opinion. Okay, so give that a stir that in. Okay, so that one's done there. Then for the top, you're going to put in 2 eggs. And you're going to give that a mix. So soften those eggs. You can use a fork if you wish, but I'm just using my spoon because I want less washing up. sugar. Then, and give that a stir so that that sugar dissolves in the egg. And then you're going to put in your coconut. So 2 cups of coconut.
Are we going to be able to eat this today?
No, sweetheart, because they're both going to be in the oven. Sorry. You need to eat yours next week. Because remember, I've got to do 2 in a single. At least in your double, you'll get to be able to get that. Okay, so that will become all nice and light and fluffy. It looks a little bit wet, so I'll just put a little bit more in there. And that should be nice and light. It's still a bit wet. Okay, now I've just spotted over there, and this is once again playing with your recipes. I might, just for something different, I'm going to throw and see, I've never tried this before. I'm going to put some of these macadamia nuts in this caramel, because I reckon macadamia and caramel would go really well together. So, they're already chopped up, and it's going to give it a bit of crunch, and I think that would be rather groovy. Okay, so we'll see. I'll let you know. Okay, so now that's the second layer of the macadamia slice. Now macadamia slice is caramel macadamia slice. I get this place. Salted caramel macadamia. Oh man, it's getting better all the time. Okay, so that's the base. Okay, so that's the cookie base. So we now put this salted caramel macadamia. And once again, you're not going to put it all in the middle. You're going to spread it out so that you don't ruin the base. And you'll probably need your scraper again. And very gently move it to the edges. So if you're going to do the Nutella, I've found that in the past, you know those little baby jars of Nutella? They're just a perfect amount. The little baby jars of jam. So I would usually, if I did the jam ones, I would usually use at least half a jar of jam. Like you've seen here, 1 tin of condensed milk, that's usually the right quantities that you need. Okay. So spread that out. Like that. And then when you get to this stage, you then get this one here. And people tend to feel the temptation to squish down this mixture. Don't squish it down, okay? If you squish it down, what happens is the eggs remain raw, okay? You need to make it nice and light and fluffy, and that way that the heat from the oven will actually cook all of it together, okay? So just leave it nice and light and fluffy, and just make sure that you get it when you do it, and spread it all the way around, okay? So make sure it goes right to you. So don't get a fork, don't squish. Just leave it light. Okay, so this one's exactly what I've told you not to do over and over again. Okay. Alright, now the last bit. So you can see that with each of the slices, you have very little washing up. Okay. When it comes to the base, and that's not quite ready yet, the base of the chocolate caramel, or the chocolate walnut slice, the condensed milk, so essentially that tin of caramel that I showed you, it is a tin of condensed milk that's been cooked for 3 hours and made into caramel. So what's happening with that condensed milk now, it's being cooked and it's caramelizing. So when I get to the very end of that particular slice, what's going to happen is I'm going to get this block of chocolate and just pretend, let me try and find something. Alright, just pretend I've got that slice out, okay? And this is the top. I'm going to get my block. Yeah. I'm going to get my block of chocolate and I'm going to put it and break all of the pieces of my chocolate and spread it around the top of my slice like that. Okay? And I'll spread it right across. So I've got blocks all over. Then I'm going to put it back in the oven for 60 seconds. Okay, that's all. This is saving me putting all my chocolate in a jar and then melting it in the microwave and burning it or whatever, and then putting it on and then pouring it on. What's going to happen is once I've got all my chocolate, I put it back in the oven for 60 seconds, it all melts. I then get my scraper and I spread it out, and then it's going to go straight into the fridge after that. Okay? Takes 60 seconds. Because this is cooking chocolate, this is designed to melt in the oven. It will then spread out beautifully and evenly over my slice and it's ready to refrigerate. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool beans. Alright, so that's what we're going to do after those ones finish cooking.